Star of Life Award for 2022. Around 8 p.m. on June 7th, 2021, David Keller was driving down a remote road when his car left the roadway, hit a tree, landing in the woods. The car landed in a precarious position over an embankment, passenger side down, with the front passenger tire hung up on a nearby tree. This contact point would serve as the only stabilization point until rescuers arrived. The team arrived quickly, stabilized the vehicle using J-hooks, chains, and a winch to prevent the vehicle from continuing its descent. And I mentioned they're on the edge of a 60-foot drop-off. Once the vehicle was stabilized, they were able to turn their attention to the patient who had landed in the front passenger seat with his back against the front passenger door. Paramedic Stephen Turbyfield entered the vehicle using appropriate precautions to begin assessing the patient. The initial patient assessment was negative for any obvious active bleeding, but it was apparent that Mr. Keller was pinned inside the vehicle, with the dashboard trapping his lower extremities. Cervical spine precautions were initiated, IVs were placed, fluids and pain management were provided. At this time, the team was able to begin the arduous process of extricating their patient. AEMT Eric Matheson, AEMT Jason Greenlee, and the rest of the team started with a total sidewall removal of the driver's side door and B-post. A dash lift was not possible due to the positioning of the car, so the team started removing the driver's seat along with the center console. At this point, the team was able to free Mr. Keller's left leg, but he remained pinned with his right leg under the dash. Additional team members rappelled down the hill to the underside of the wreckage, where they began removal of the passenger side wall, starting with the rear door, the seats, and eventually the front passenger door. This afforded just enough space to use the spreaders to free Mr. Keller's right leg, and he was finally removed from the vehicle. The patient was loaded to a spine board and carried back up the embankment to the awaiting ambulance. The team rendezvoused with the Highlands Emergency Air and Rescue Team, who transported the patient to the hospital. This entire extrication process took approximately 2.5 hours, as the team navigated the complexity of the vehicle position and the nature of the patient's entrapment. All personnel, as well as the patient and the extrication tools, were secured appropriately at all times, utilizing PPE and rope systems. This nomination was a lengthy, technical rescue of an entrapped patient with an extensive list of circumstances that are not often experienced. The safe extrication of Mr. Keller is a testament to this team's commitment to safety, training, and overall excellence. Please join me in awarding the Star of Life State Award to the heroic providers at Washington County, Johnson City EMS. Mr. David Keller is being presented a certificate of life that reads, "This certificate is being presented to David Keller in recognition for bravery and resilience shown June 7th, 2021. Here's Mr. Keller's mother, who would like to address the EMS team for this round.
The day after David's accident, I started keeping a little memo list of all the thank you notes, trying to keep up with what I would need to write in the days ahead. We had family and friends, even strangers, donate money and meals to us. Thank you. And just during David's time in the hospital, or in between doctor's appointments, I just took time and would check off those thank you notes. At the top of the list were these people. And every time I sat down to write a note, I had to skip them because I couldn't find the words to put on paper. How thankful I was that they not only saved our child, but also sacrificed almost their lives, rappelling off the side of the mountain to get my baby out of that car. Also during that time, my prayer life changed. I've always been one who likes to talk to God, and he tells me to be quiet a lot. I couldn't come up with words in those days following David's accident other than to say thank you. Thank you, God. When I couldn't find the words to pray, I would just mutter thank you. And God gave me the peace that that was exactly what I needed to say to him. Here we are, May 4th, is that today? Almost a year to David's accident, and I still have not given these fine people the thank you note that they deserve. So I hope when you read this, that you understand that the words I muttered to God for weeks and weeks are the same words I'm giving to you, but there's so many other words that I wish I could have written. But thank you so much from the bottom of our heart for saving our son.